What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Hot Commodity and C, and today you are checking out WWE Payback 2023, the official recap. Payback was live last Saturday from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it was a great show with some decent matches. So let's dive right into the action. The first match we get to see is the very special steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. This is the final match between the two. They first got on at Night of Champions, and then they fought again on Raw, and now they're fighting their final match in a steel cage match. Trish Stratus is 47 years old, and she killed it. They had an epic steel cage match, probably a contender for match of the year, as they gave it their all. There was a moment where Trish was hanging from the steel cage. She took so many bumps. Zoe Stark got involved and he wasn't able to help, unfortunately. The end came after Becky slams Trish Stratus into the cage and hits a manhandle slam off the top of the top rope to Trish Stratus. Becky gets a 3 count and she defeats Trish. Great match. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because it was probably the best opening match on the pay-per-view for WWE this year. And Trish Stratus is my favorite, Becky is my favorite, and they just proved why I was so excited to see this happen. And it was a good match. At first, I was a little worried, but they definitely blew the house. After the match, Trish Stratus yelled at Zoe Stark and slaps Zoe in the face. Zoe gets upset by this and nails Trish with a Z360. So it looks like Zoe and Trish are done. After the match, when the cameras went off, Trish Stratus bowed to the crowd and pretty much thanked them. So this might be the last we see Trish Stratus in a while, and if it is, thank you, Trish. Next, we have John Cena coming out, and John Cena says, "Welcome to Payback. In 20 years, I've done a lot, but I've never been a host. I found out my job is to make tonight special, and I'm going to make myself a special guest referee for The Miz versus LA Knight." The Miz comes out, he says, "I would expect that from LA Knight, but not you. Pandering to this crowd. You suck as a host." Cena says, you got any advice?" And the Miz says, "You don't put yourself as a referee in my match." And then the Miz and Cena argue until the LA Knight comes out, and the Miz and LA Knight fight. And this was a very good match. They went at it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. There was moments where John Cena was getting involved and was pushing LA Knight. There was moments where Cena was pushing the Miz. I wasn't sure if one of them was going to snap, but the end came after LA nailed a elbow drop and a BFT, and he gets a 3 count. After the match, John Cena raises LA Knight's hand on the ramp and he says, "This is your moment," and leaves. It looks as if John Cena is passing the torch to LA Knight. LA Knight is being billed as a top babyface over on SmackDown, and his feud with The Miz is a great way to sort of help skyrocket him. The Miz was very unhappy with John Cena, so we'll see where that goes. But LA Knight getting the win over The Miz, good match. Next, we have the WWE United States title on the line. The champion Rey Mysterio defending against Austin Theory, and this wasn't a great match. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The end came after Rey Mysterio rolled up Austin Theory, and again, there really wasn't a lot of action here. It was decent, but just sort of weird. It's weird seeing Rey Mysterio as champion. He still looks good. He's still able to hit his moves, but I think they're doing wrong by having Rey champion. He's already done it all. There's no need for him to be a champion. But it was an okay match. We then see the NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton backstage, and she confronts Becky Lynch, and she's like, "I totally forgot you were never NXT Women's Champion." Becky Becky says, "Shouldn't you focus on your title defense?" And she goes, "I'll see you soon." So it looks like Becky Lynch has her eyes on Tiffany Stratton's NXT Women's Championship because NXT is not, I'm sorry, Becky Lynch is not a former NXT Women's Champion. This next match was really great. It definitely gave me Attitude Era vibes. We have the Steel City Street Fight for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending against Finn Balor and Damian Priest of Judgment Day. And this was a all-out brawl. Kevin Owens was bleeding badly on his face. There was moments where they were getting Kevin Owens getting suplexed through chairs. We saw a moment where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn put on the Pittsburgh Penguins, their jersey, and Kevin nails a swanton bomb off the railing to um, Dominic through a table. We saw JD McDonough come out and attack. We then saw Rhea Ripley come out and she speared Kevin Owens through the railing. And the end comes after Dominic hits Sammy with the Money in the Bank briefcase and Finn pins Sammy. And Finn Balor and Damian Priest are your new WWE Tag Team Champions. I gave that match a 4 out of 5. I wasn't happy to see Kevin and Sammy lose because they just won the titles, but it is interesting to see them just give Judgment Day everything. They're getting a massive push, and in 5.5 months, they have taken over the division. So Judgment Day are new tag team champions. We then get a special Waller effect with Cody Rhodes, and Grayson Waller says, "I know you're in a desperate need of the Grayson Waller rub, and tonight is the beginning of something huge." And Cody says, "I saw something that needs to be right on SmackDown. Please welcome the newest member of the Raw roster, Jey Uso." So we saw Jimmy Uso appear on SmackDown. He is trying to join the Bloodline again. It looks like Jey Uso is now a member of the Raw roster. He comes out with new music, and Jey comes out and he super kicks Grayson Waller. Huge announcement from Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso is now an official member of Monday Night Raw. I'm excited to see what they're going to do now that they separated the Usos. I'm excited to see what's next for both men. We now have the WWE World Women's Championship on the line. The champion Rhea Ripley defending against Raquel Rodriguez. And this match was a little disappointing. I give this a 3 out of 5 star. Compared to their NXT matches, this match wasn't really anything great. It was decent, but the end came after Dominic Mysterio came out. Raquel nailed the power slam to Dominic, and then Rhea nails a kick and a riptide and gets a 3. So, of course, because of Dominic, Rhea gets the victory over Raquel, and really didn't advance anything in the storyline. Didn't really make Raquel look strong. Um, she lost kind of fair and square, even though Dominic did get involved. She didn't kick out the riptide. Um, but again, I'm sure they'll have a better match if they do fight again. But for a pay-per-view, this wasn't great. We now have our main event, the WWE World Champion Seth Rollins defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. The great Muda is in the crowd, and Muda used to train Shinsuke. This is a very good match. A lot of action here. We got to see the Japanese style of Shinsuke Nakamura at play. They both went at it. There was many times where Seth looks like he was going to lose, but the end came after Nakamura landed a Kinshasa, but Seth nails a pedigree, a stomp, and a 3, and Seth Rollins gets the win. It was a decent match, and there wasn't a lot of outside interference, which was good. These guys just went at it with each other. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was good. Some people weren't fans of it, but I was a huge fan. I thought it was great. I'm like, people should maybe rewatch it, check it out again. I'll have to rewatch it myself because maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. But right now, in my opinion, I thought it was a decent match. After the match, we didn't get to see this live. This was a WWE digital exclusive. We saw Nakamura attack Seth Rollins. So it doesn't look like Nakamura is done. He throws Rollins into the Titantron, throws him into the railing. So I think Seth Rollins is going to be looking for payback for Nakamura. But all in all, this is a great pay-per-view. WWE did another great show, and I'm excited. The next pay-per-view we have is Fastlane, and that's on my birthday, October 7th. But as far as right now, I'm excited to see what's going to happen on Raw, SmackDown, and what new storylines are going to develop from this. Thank you guys for checking me out. Stay safe, stay uncensored.